Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Who's Flying Dubai. Today's guest is Hanan Al Sammak. She's an author, professional speaker, and educator. Hanan has a large fan base and more than 150,000 subscribers on YouTube. She's the founder of Hayatech, a show that aims to empower individuals and contribute in bringing positive change to the society, gaining the love and respect of the audience across the Arab region. Besides that, Hanan coaches top executives, managers, individuals in positive thinking and well-being, stress management, self-confidence, public speaking, and developing a successful mindset. Her first self-help book, Hayatech, was published in 2016, aims to instill the concept of positive thinking and success in a motivational step-by-step to help readers to live out their fullest potential. She also has another book, Sip of Happiness, that's available in the market right now. She's also writing her third book. Hanan, thank you for coming. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mohamed, for having me.
Thank you. I was really looking forward for this interview because I would really like to know. I haven't met a lot of writers in my life, so finally I'm sitting across one. And you've wrote 2 books, and you were telling me that you have plans for the 3rd book.
Yes.
For the people who are listening, what were your first 2 books about, and what inspired you to write them?
All right, perfect. So my first book, it's called Hayatech. So it's technical steps to a happier life. So basically, it's a group of articles that motivates you to become the best version of yourself. So how to be self-confident, how to be a leader, how to be more positive in your life. So it's about success. But then my second book, I learned that, success is not just enough. It's not enough to be promoted, and it's not enough to write books, and it's not enough to be, let's say, a self-development trainer. So there is more to that. This is when I started realizing that, having positive emotions is more important than having, just success, purely success. That's why my second book is called The Sip of Happiness. It's about 10 values that we need as human beings to have in our lives that actually promotes our well-being. So values like giving, like forgiveness, like understanding, like empathy and compassion. So these values, if we can integrate them into our lives, in our daily habits, then we will have a better understanding of our surroundings, of our situations, and we'll have a better well-being in general, and a better mental health. Yes.
So you've learned that based on the school you went to, the university you went to in Australia?
Yes.
Can you walk me through that journey?
Yes, sure. Actually, it's a funny story because I actually graduated from AUD, American University in Dubai, and I've done marketing. So it's very far from what I'm doing right now. But I always had this passion about psychology, and I wanted to study psychology, but I got a scholarship in marketing in AUD. So alhamdulillah, that's a blessing as well. But then I wanted media instead, because I didn't find psychology. I'm like, okay, let me do media. At least it's closer to people. Maybe one day I'm going to have my own podcast. Maybe one day I'm going to have my own show so I can, promote well-being as well. And so my dad was like, you know what? You don't need to learn that. You don't need to spend 4 years learning media. This is just a hobby. You can work on yourself. I'm like, but I want media. He's like, trust me, media will come later. Why not do something closer to people? So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do marketing. So I was upset. I was 18. I didn't know where my future was heading. But then I got a job with my marketing certificate. And then I worked on myself with my YouTube show, and slowly in the self-development field in psychology. And so the diploma I took in Australia was a diploma in positive psychology. So psychology focuses on the things that is wrong with people. So let's say if you have depression, let's say psychology moves you from 0 to -5. So you have depression, you take pills, or you work with CBT, cognitive...
Can you bring the mic closer to you?
Yes, or you take CBT, which is a cognitive behavior therapy, let's say. I'm not going to get into details, but psychology fixes you and moves you from 0 to -5. Positive psychology moves you from -5 to +5. So what can you do to thrive? What can you do to become more productive? What can you do to live a happier life? So I wanted to focus on that, because even in our lives, we focus on, like let's say you have a nice blank white sheet of paper, and you have like a black dot. And you tell people, what do you see? And then automatically they see the black dot.
Correct.
I want to see the white paper. I want to see the things that are, happening in my life. I want to be grateful for that. So why not focus on my strength instead of my weaknesses? I'm always trying to improve myself and become better. That's good. That's amazing. That's a lot of ambition. But why not focus on your strength? Build on it so you can thrive.
Okay, since you studied psychology, these things, as you said, the black dot and the white sheet, are we born that way, or is it something you need to train yourself and practice how to focus on the positive? Some people, like, I don't know, it amazes me that some people are automatically like that. Like, since a young age, they're very
Positive and happy.
Positive.
And
But you get maybe his brother from the same family who's...
yeah.
So how does it work? You know what I mean? How does two persons from the same family, everybody thinking differently, but they grew up in the same environment with the same circumstances, but one is thinking that way and one's thinking the other way? That amazes me sometimes. How does that happen?
I like that. Yes, there's a chance and a possibility that maybe you become a negative person if you were born in that environment. So let's say if your parents are negative, and if you live in that environment, there's a 50% chance that you will become a negative person as well. And this is according to the Happiness Pie, written in the book The How of Happiness.
Okay.
There's a scientist, her name is Tonya Lambersky, and she wrote about the Happiness Pie. And she says that our well-being is determined by 50% of our DNA. So 50% of our DNA determines our well-being. But there's this other 40% that a lot of people are not paying attention to.
Yeah.
These are the intention activities. So the things I can do to change my circumstance. Just because my father wasn't a good, compassionate father or role model to me, doesn't mean I'm not going to become a good father for my children. So there's this 40% that I can do something about. And the things, Muhannad, the things we tend to complain about, the weather, the prices, the people, they did this to me, they did not give me love. Those are just 10% of our external factors that determines our well-being.
Can you elaborate more?
Yes, sure. So the things that I feel it takes a lot of my time and a lot of my energy, and it's affecting me. Like, let's say the weather here is humid, that's why I can't exercise. Like, I can't be happy because I'm not married yet. So if I keep complaining about the external factors and think that it's the reason for my misery, it's actually only 10% that determines my overall well-being.
Okay.
So it's not a lot of percentage. So what I should focus on is the 40% that I can do something about.
Okay. I get you 100%.
Yeah.
But I want to play devil's advocate for 1 second. I agree with you. But I feel like if we don't focus, as you said, like, oh, I'm not married, I need to get married. Like, if somebody's thinking that way, or like, oh, you know what I mean, my job is not going well, I have to find another job. He's not thinking what's positive from his current job. I feel like as human beings, that's how we progress. If I'm looking at the positivity and the negativity.
Okay.
Meaning, in a bad situation, if you think, okay, I'm not happy with my job, these feelings are legit. You might not be actually happy with your job, but if you don't pay attention to it anymore, then you're not gonna look for other jobs. Okay, I'm alhamdulillah for my job, everything is okay,
You're gonna settle.
You're gonna settle.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying feeling those things and paying attention to these thoughts and these feelings sometimes pushes you to go somewhere else in your life rather. So I'm saying it's a really trick. It's a fine line between both. So if you can help us, or like from your knowledge, how do we address these feelings, the right feelings? What do I do next?
I like that. I like that. I agree with you, Muhannad, totally, 100%. Because, like you said, feelings, and they are telling us that we need to change something. So feelings, emotions are like information. They're like data. They're telling me that, Hanan, you're not happy with your job. And this actually happened to me. I paid attention to my feelings. I paid attention to the voice in my head saying, what are you doing in marketing? You always loved people. You loved, corporate social responsibility events.
Yeah.
You loved writing. So this is when I started, I wrote my resignation letter. I saved it in my drafts for 4 months. And this is when I made the craziest decision ever, which is to quit my job and pursue this training field and, go fully with the entrepreneurship world. Everyone was against me, even the closest people around me. How are you going to afford? How are you going to live without a salary? But I'm like, I need to do that.
Yeah.
So I listened to my emotion. I quit my job, and I've been in this field for 4 years. So yes, listening to your emotions is important. But at the same time, knowing the difference between complaining and between, being grateful for your pursuit. So yes, I am an ambitious person. I have this pursuit to become better. So I'm working towards what I want. I'm working towards my goal.
Yeah.
But if I don't get that, and if I don't get the exact same thing I had in my mind, the same image, the same blueprint, then this is the time where I have to say, I tried my best, and I should be grateful for the things that I have. So it's a very thin line between wanting more and actually being grateful for the things you already have. Because if you want so much more, then you'll end up complaining all the time.
Okay.
But if you don't want more, and if you're okay, you're gonna settle.
I think the key word here is
Yeah.
complaining.
Yes.
I think from what we both said, I'm trying to pay attention. It's complaining
Yes.
because everybody's gonna go through bad time. Everybody's gonna go through situations where you have to make big decisions, and big decisions lead to
True.
big things in life.
True.
But as you said, if you're just gonna sit down and just complain and not have that sense of leadership, that it's my mistake. I'm a human being. Everybody's gonna make mistakes. If you're gonna live life thinking that you're not gonna make a mistake, then
True.
you're wasting your time. It's gonna happen. You're gonna make mistakes. And as you said, having that sense of leadership that you're like, okay, I've made a mistake. How do I fix it? It's my mistake.
Yes.
It's okay. I'm a human. It's okay. I'm able to forgive myself. If
Yes.
God's able to forgive me, then I can forgive myself and move on. Yeah.
Definitely.
So that's what I wanted to hear from you. Like that thing is yeah, people do complain a lot. And I feel like once you stop complaining and take full responsibility for your actions, you're able to move on quicker in life. That's just
Definitely. I agree with you. And you're gonna stop living, the role of the victim.
yeah.
They did this. They're supposed to make me happy. They're supposed to give me this appreciation letter, or my name's supposed to be on that award list, for example. No one owns you anything. And nobody's going to offer, like happiness on a silver plate. There you go, this is happiness. This is the nice check. This is the perfect husband you've been waiting for, for all your life. This is the perfect wife. No one owes you anything.
Yeah.
So the minute you accept that you're, like you said, you are a human being and you make mistakes and you take ownership and you take leadership and you're in charge of your life. Yes, my mom and my dad, they did something, but that's 50%. But I can do something about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes, it's about, owning up to it. I made a mistake. I take charge of my life because I'm the captain of my ship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to be a leader in the office or become a manager in order to feel that sense of leadership. I mean, you have to master your mind and you have to master your life. And then you will feel free. You feel empowered to keep going in life.
Definitely. Leadership, Mohan, it's like you said, it's not about, being a CEO or being a manager or being, like the richest person, in the UAE. No, it's not about that. It's not about titles. It's not about more power. It's not about more status. Leadership can be, you're a student and you're a leader. You're a daughter. You're a son. You're a farmer. You're an office boy. Being a leader is, like you said, owning up to your decisions, taking charge of your life, and walking your way through that. Yeah.
I mean, if you're unable to manage yourself and to lead yourself, how on earth are you going to lead other people?
True.
I mean, I like, for example, if you're struggling to run 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, and doing the hard things and having a diet, this is part of the process.
Definitely.
Like if you have to do these things, you have to face difficulties and be able to be okay and not complain and wake up the next day and do them, and then. You know what I mean? You're in the position to lead other people and tell them what to do, like when it comes to corporates and stuff.
True.
But if you want to sit down and just tell people what to do, you're not happy, they're not happy, and then this is the recipe for failure.
True.
So as you said, I think key points is stop complaining.
Yes.
Take actions.
Definitely.
Take ownership.
Definitely, yes.
Lead. Be your leader first.
And start with yourself.
Yeah.
Start with yourself.
It's yourself.
Definitely, because when you change who you are, when you accept your mistakes, when you're in tune with your emotions, when you accept your past and, stop dwelling on the past and stop worrying about the future, this is when you will influence people. So it's not about advising them all the time and do this and you can do this and eat healthy and do this exercise. If you started, maybe you're going to be an inspiration for me.
Correct.
Maybe you will be my role model. This is how you contribute to the lives of others. This is how you impact, positively on other people's life when you influence. How can you influence when you're actually an influencer for yourself?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
I find that fascinating. Yeah, it's once you start with yourself, the whole world is different. I'm telling you, I went from being. I'm still kind of lazy, but yeah, I went from.
Define lazy.
Like, yeah, I feel like I'm not giving my 100% all the time.
Okay.
But I was at 50%, and I pushed it to 60 and 70 and 80, and I'm trying to get to the 90s. Maybe I'll never get to 100, but life is a marathon anyway. I have a goal. I need to be that at that age. It's fine. It's progressing.
True.
I've heard the speakers talking about. I don't know if that's a term or he made it up. It's called progressive extremism.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, you want to quit sugar, okay? And one day, boom, you drop sugar. You're unable. to just do that. You're going to
Yes.
go back to it. But if you say no sugar at the house, I'm going to have my sugar things outside the house, meaning I'm going to have Coca-Cola and Pepsi outside the house. There's no more Coke and Pepsi at the house. And slowly, okay, even if I go to a restaurant, I'm not going to have Coke and Pepsi. I'm just going to have it once a week with my friends on Friday. And you build it from there. And from there, then like a year later, you stop Coke. But you're not going to stop it one day. Some people struggle. I personally struggle stopping something one day.
Definitely.
I'm unable. But dropping it down, progressive extremism, like slowly, take it. Okay, I'm not gonna run 5 miles a day. I'm gonna run quarter a mile, tomorrow half a mile.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is very, very important point you're mentioning because, like you said, small acts contribute to greater good in the future. So if I drink, let's say, a lot of people are saying you have to drink, 2.5 liters a day for water.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not used to that. I'm used to having 3-4 cups maximum.
Yeah.
If I start having 2 more liters, maybe something will happen to my body. And the next day, I won't feel better and I won't feel good. And so I'm going to stop. And then I'm going to reach to this level of, burnout.
Mm-hmm.
That level of, having so much high stress levels and anxiety where you've done so much, you gave everything you have, and now you just don't have enough. You exerted all your energy on quitting and doing something 100%.
Correct.
So if you're very, very smart and if you really want consistent success, because the idea is not just reaching and then stopping. And so, I wrote a book and then I wrote my next book after 10 years.
Wow. Is it actually
no,
that?
this is just a theory. Just imagine,
okay.
or I help someone, or I go to charity for a year, and then after 15 years, I go back to charity. So the point is not reaching somewhere. Mm-hmm. It's about having this consistent success. And I see a lot of people, by the way, in social media, posting 10 pictures in a day.
Yeah.
And I see them on my timeline. MashaAllah, okay, that's amazing. And then the next day, they disappeared.
Yeah.
So it's about having, one picture a day, one content every single day. Small changes you make, it will impact and it will lead to a greater change in the future.
Honestly, as you this psychology, this positive psychology you're talking about, isn't it should be I think it's about time that people should really pay attention to it. It's true. It's not somebody's trying to act different or act cool.
No,
it's actually the real deal.
Yes.
You have to have these techniques in your life in order to progress and to get somewhere. Do you have any plans? What are you thinking? Because you went abroad to study that. You were here and you're no, I don't want that. I'm going to go to Australia. I'm going to study that and come back. That's amazing by itself to come to that understanding. First of all, I would like to know what made you. I know you wanted to study psychology, but how did you get that thought in your head that I want to study psychology? What happened in your life? What did you see that you're okay, I'm interested in psychology?
All right. I love that question. I never really thought about the reasons why I pursued it.
Okay.
I guess it was inside of me, built in. But now that I'm sharing it, so basically, let's say I come from a very, very perfectionist family. It's all about hard work. It's all about, even if you give them a certificate and you get 90s in everything, but one grade you get an 80. Why did you get an 80? So it's always about improving, and it's always about. And I know this comes from very, very good intention of my parents wanting me to be perfect and wanting me to be perfect. And back then I thought this was okay. But then when I saw that I was suffering from stress, I wasn't able to accept my mistakes. I wasn't able to move forward because of perfectionism. I started procrastinating because of perfectionism. I started, fearing not only failure, also success because of perfectionism. Everything has to be perfect so I can move forward. This is the idea of, that's why I loved positive psychology, because yes, you have weaknesses, but it also focuses on your strength. So why not work on your strength? Why not work on the things I'm good at so I can be excellent at them and competent, and then that will actually push me to work on my weaknesses. So this is the whole idea. I guess from my background as a child, growing up in this perfectionist family, that led to, an increase in mental health, honestly, in my work. And this is when I'm no, something is wrong, because I love work. I love hard work and I love hustling. But why should, success be always accompanied with stress and, isolation? Correct. Why can't I have everything? Why can't I be successful and still have a good circle of friends and still have, a good car and still enjoy my life as a normal person? Just because, I'm successful doesn't mean I should, become lonely or isolated or...
Balance is the hardest thing I think you can do as a human being.
Yes, but I figured something lately, Muhannad, and it's simpler than we think.
What is it?
It's just setting your priorities. It's amazing the massive, outcome that can come to you by setting your priorities. Let's say my priority is family.
Okay.
And then work.
Okay.
And then like joy and fun and amusement. Khalas, I know after a workshop, I don't do anything else except, spend time with my family the whole day.
Okay.
So it's about having that priorities set and then doing something about it. It's not like saying, I'm an employee, I'm a mom that comes late and I still love my family, but you're coming late.
Yeah.
Set your priorities, do something about it.
So you don't feel like
Have
you're
this
compromising on
determination.
anything?
No. Alhamdulillah.
Zero.
Before I used to, yes. Before
Okay.
I used to, when I used to spend, like 10 hours in Starbucks working on my content and my training courses.
Yeah.
I love Starbucks, by the way. And it's like
Okay.
my office. And it's not an ad, but yani.
Okay.
Because, being in an entrepreneurship world, I didn't
Yeah.
afford to get an office. And so I had an office right there.
Okay.
And even like, I love the staff there. And they keep asking me, how was your workshop? How did you do? Like, they know so much about me. And it became my family.
Yeah.
But inshallah, we're working on getting an office now because our company is actually licensed from SME. Mohammed Barashid for small and medium enterprises.
Okay.
So they do offer offices, inshallah. So anyway, the point is, coming from that background as a child, from a perfectionist background, I'm like, no, I need to set my priorities. I need to be determined. I need to focus on my strength. I need to build myself because I want to see myself successful even after 10, 15 years. I don't want to be just successful, for 3 years and then like, boom, there's a job and it's hard for me to get up again. It's hard for me to, be flexible again and do something about it. And I guess this was my main reason why I pursued this education. And also, I've been through something like very, very, I think that changed who I am as a person, how I see the world. When I was in AUD, actually, my second year of college, I had this, again, my priority is family. So me and my family used to go to hotels every weekend just, to swim and barbecue and these things. We always enjoyed family gatherings more than anything. And so suddenly, we get into a very, very hard car crash and I see, it was very disturbing. I was 18 and, the fact that you see people you love just right in front of you, just in less than 10 seconds, something happened to them and you wouldn't think that something bad is going to happen. You would think like, maybe they get a scar or something and they're going to be fine. But then shocking news that, my family passed away right in front of my eyes.
Sorry to hear that.
Well, thank you so much. Allah yarhamhum. And my uncle, my grandma, my uncle's wife. And so just there, I started shivering and it was summer. It was Thursday in Emirates Road. It was 2:30. And, like when it's very, very hot in summer in Dubai, but you're still shivering, that feeling. And I started covering myself and I'm like, what is this? This is what life is at the end, So death became actually my source for positive thinking. Every time I'm upset and every time I feel, discouraged and every time people put you down, people criticize you, I remember the people I saw in front of my eyes. My uncle, he was a doctor, just graduated from med school and he hustled and he worked hard, but at the end, this is what happened. And this did not make me settle. This made me work harder because I know that one day I'm not going to be here. Today I'm with you, Muhannad, and tomorrow I might not be here. So this, and coming from a family of perfectionism, just made me, realize that there's something more to life. It's not just about money and status and power. No. There's something more. And I'm working on finding out what that is.
Wow, what a story. What a story. I mean, I'm listening to it and I can actually see why you the positive mentality. Like you looked at it and like, okay, Allah yarhamhum, may they rest in peace.
Ameen.
But life is not forever.
No.
It's not forever. So you have to spend every day trying to be happy and trying to do something you would like. And there is something that I've came across which blew my mind away. The chances you're born is 1 out of 400 trillion that you are born. Imagine that the chances you're born is 1 out of 400 trillion. So that by itself is lucky. I mean, you're really lucky to be here. And you're really lucky, for example, to be at this time, 2018, you have technology, you have airplanes.
Yes.
There's so many things that if you just have the worst life ever and you look at these things and you're like, okay, how do I connect? Can I maybe just have enough money to buy a ticket to fly somewhere? That by itself is just amazing. You don't have to get really to millions and millions.
No.
But like basic life right now is amazing.
Basic life. I like that.
Yeah.
Yes, it comes down. You're right. You're absolutely right. It comes down to, opening the door for someone and being kind. It comes down to, helping your child learn something, cooking something for your husband. So this is what life is about. Yes, you're working and you're striving, but, there are people who need you and there are people who want you. And that's why I feel sometimes I get annoyed, honestly, from the people who post so much about positive thinking without really letting people understand what it is about.
Yeah.
It's not about just, love yourself and go travel and leave the world.
Yeah.
Put that mask and be happy. And, there's so much rainbows and stars
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
No. It's not. Yes, self-love is important, but the point of self-love is to re-energize you, to give back to people. It's not about you running away and doing something you love and pursuing your passions and leaving the people who need you behind. And so, yeah, it's important to post things and with details.
With details, I think posting things, but maybe going back to the point that being happy or having that positive mindset is no doubt, it's hard work.
Yes.
Like anything in life. Like going to the gym and losing weight, it's hard
Definitely.
work. Having that mindset is not going to come from a single quote you read on Instagram.
No.
It's legit. You have to really read it from a book to a book, see a video from another video, try it.
Yes, apply that quote. Oh, that's such a nice quote, repost. Apply it.
Exactly.
If you
It
start
feels good for a
applying,
second and then okay, post it.
And then khalas. And then someone calls you and you start complaining. Well, you just read the quote. And so read the quote, repost it, apply it, and then read another quote the next day. Read the third quote. It's like repetition, This is how, our brain is trained in the end.
That's the question I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
So you went to Australia, you studied that, you came back, and now you know it. And now you know that, let's say, I don't know, about the Middle Eastern culture, we don't talk about that a lot. It's just hard work, and that's it. Go become a doctor, go become an engineer, and that's what success is. We don't really talk about emotions and finding yourself and working on your brain, and it doesn't come a lot. It's okay. I mean, different times for different. It's okay. But now we're at that time. Now we're aware. Now we have the science. Now we have people like you who went abroad, studied, and came back with the education. What are your plans
for the future?
What are you for the future? Not personally. I'm asking, what are your plans? Do you have any plans?
Yes.
Why are you trying to raise awareness? What's happening with you?
I was just going to say that. I want to raise awareness about mental health.
Yeah.
That it's okay for people to talk about their emotions. It's okay to cry. Growing up in that, culture where, you're not supposed to cry. You're a father or you're a man.
Yeah.
Aib. That's shameful. So that guy grows up feeling that it's very sad and it's very wrong to actually, cry. Keeping that emotions inside. And then after a while, being in shock that he has heartache or heart problems or,
Can I disagree with you for a second? Okay. I'm not completely disagreeing that, you should have emotions, but it's not about really men or women. Let's say it's not a gender thing. I agree with you when it comes to gender. And let's talk about men. If men start crying and start feeling weak, then it's going to become a habit, which is something you really need to be careful of. If you let your emotions take control of you, then you're just going to always follow your emotions. But you have a brain. You have logic also to I don't think men or women should really always follow their emotions. Address it, feel it for a second. I'm unhappy. I'm really sad. I'm about to cry. Oh, tear dropped. All right.
That was my point.
Step back.
Definitely. The point is not, crying all the time, not doing something about your life.
Yeah.
It's about feeling okay to cry.
Okay.
Being okay to feel sad. Being okay to be disappointed. Being okay to be, depressed.
Yeah.
Because if you're okay, then you can find the root cause, why this happens, then you can work on them.
Exactly.
Then you can empower yourself. But if you're always ignoring the problem, and no, I'm fine, but you're ignoring the problem, you're not treating your employees well. You're not treating your wife well because you're ignoring the problem, because you're not expressing your emotions. Then a lot of problems will occur. And a lot of people clients, because of these things. I can't face my wife, I can't face my mother, I can't do well at my work. So there's something here. If you were able to express your emotions, then maybe you'll find the root cause and do something about it. So of course it's not about being a victim.
Yeah.
I'm against that.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely. This is what we're talking about since the morning. It's about, having ownership, having a sense of leadership about your own, circumstances and decisions.
Yeah.
But it's about being okay with it. This is what here, some families and some culture, like, it's not okay. Don't do it. Don't be weak. So, okay, fine, I'm strong, but let me, grow to be that strong person. Don't just, put my emotions, in a box and like lock the box and then throw the key away.
Yeah,
let me talk about it so I can learn and grow.
100%. Be strong. Everybody has to be strong. But how to be strong, that's the question that nobody's able to figure it out. Everybody tells you, be successful, stop crying, do this. But okay, how? Okay, first of all, as you said, having a positive mindset, working out, eating healthy, you know what I mean? Learning.
Addressing your weaknesses, addressing your emotions, what's wrong in your life. Why, haven't you forgotten that person since 10 years? There's something about that. You can't be strong if you still did not fix that thing in the past. So addressing the situation, addressing the problem, then working towards that positive mindset. I can't build a positive mindset if I haven't accepted the apology of my father since 10 years.
Yeah.
There's something always going to bother me. It's going to come back one way or another. Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you how I did it. And you can tell me if it's just a fluke or if it's science or not. The reason I became more positive in my life, because when I was talking to you, I was always mentioning hard work. Not literally hard work in terms of corporate business money. I'm talking about hard work within myself, meaning lately, from the past 6-7 weeks, I get up every day and have a cold shower first thing in the morning. I don't like it one single bit, but I'm starting my day with something hard. I mean, there's benefits from health benefits, which is cold shock proteins, which benefits your body. But I'm starting with myself. Okay, I'm preparing myself. Like, I'm gonna get up and, you know what I mean? I'm gonna smack the day from the beginning. Like, perfect. I'm gonna own the day.
Perfect. You're doing something about it.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm saying that's something like small thing, like waking up, not having like a nice hot shower. I'm getting up and I'm like this difficulty, and I'm training my brain like, well, it's difficult. So first thing in the morning is difficult. Whatever comes after it is, well, I'm already in my brain. I programmed that. Whatever
you have this mental strength now.
Yeah, like that's everything's gonna be difficult. It's okay.
Yeah. No, Mohammed, I agree. So you're saying that you should work on your positive mindset. You should work on being happy. You should work on that.
Yeah.
I train my mind actually to list 3 things I'm grateful for every single morning on my notes. I didn't have to buy a notebook and diary and decorate it. No. I have my notes. I have my Instagram. I have so many things. So why spend like 10 minutes a day checking my timeline instead of opening the notes and writing 3 things I'm grateful for? Health, work, family, safety, anything I'm grateful for. So yes, ever since I wake up in the morning now, I smile. Not because, I have the perfect life and the perfect circumstance and the perfect money. No. Because I trained my brain to actually list all the things I'm grateful for.
So you try to find everything you're grateful for every morning.
Definitely.
And you think about them.
Definitely. And it's a lot of hard work. It took me years to think like that.
Okay.
That's why the idea of being resilient now is okay. So if I go through something during my day and it ruins my mood, I'm going to be upset. But I'm not going to be upset for 2 months or 2 hours. I'm going to be upset for maybe 10 minutes and then let it go.
What's your technique? So when you find like something upsetting today, let's say you come across something upsetting, do you go back and think of like, okay, but alhamdulillah, I'm grateful for 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, do you think, okay, but at least now I'm going to go home and do this?
Yes, I do think about that.
Okay.
But I also like to address things and face things. Okay. Because I don't want people to misuse gratitude for, ignoring and settling and it's okay, I'm not going to fix it. I'm thankful. No.
Exactly.
No, you have to face it. So yes, I'm thankful, but I still face it. Okay. I still face any difficult situation. And this is, I feel like, being happy is about being strong, having that mental strength to
100%.
face people and face circumstances. So I do face the situation if anything bothered me. For example, you upsetted me, you shouldn't have said that. Or, I go write myself a letter of someone, like if I went through any kind of breakup or any kind of failure, anything. Yeah. I write myself, like forgiveness letter. I forgive myself or I forgive the other person.
Nice.
So gratitude works well with me, facing, having that mental strength, and forgiveness.
Wow.
It works amazing. Okay.
This is segue, but what's your next book about? Because I want to know if you're now, because you've learned all of these things, you've been practicing for the longest while. Is your 3rd book about these things, or what is it about?
So it's about 100 steps, 100 quotes, let's say 100 wisdom to a better mental health. So you're going to have different articles on each page, and it's going to be like based on technical steps and exercises, how you can promote your well-being. Yes.
Wow. Can you give us a few?
Let's keep it as a surprise.
Do you have your workshops? I see here on your website. So you can come here and you can find everything. If I want to come to your workshop, is it possible, or is it just for corporates?
No, it's for public, it's for corporate, government entities, private entities.
So where do we go on your website to find out?
So the course is here.
Okay, courses.
So yes, I teach in stress management, employee engagement, the difference between employee engagement and employee happiness, emotional intelligence, and positive thinking.
Okay, so here we go. This is the courses.
So even like in my trainings in corporate, it's not purely corporate. I tap into the elements of well-being. I tap into the emotions.
Yeah.
And at the same time, because you can't motivate employees to come to work every day, punch in, punch out.
Correct.
If they are not motivated for life.
That's correct. Yeah.
If you have a sense of meaning for your life, then you're going to come to work, smiling and saying hi to everyone. But if you come to work just because you have a salary at the end of the month, chances of you being disengaged will be very, very high.
That's true. Once your brain is just, as you said, trading time for money, then you're not doing anything. You're just, I'm going to be here 8 hours because this is my trade. You're not actually feeling that you should put in the work.
Yes.
You're unhappy, maybe from them, from yourself, but something, as you said.
Yeah.
So which seminar is that?
So basically, it's the positive thinking at the workplace.
The first one?
Yes.
No.
Pathway to happiness and positivity at the workplace.
Yeah.
Pathway to positivity, happiness is giving. So basically how giving also from psychological point of view promotes your well-being, increases the dopamine in your body, which is, that hormone that makes your body feel at ease and safe and all that.
Yeah.
Stress management at the workplace, technical steps as well. How can you deal with, a difficult employee or a difficult boss? How are you supposed to talk to them?
Okay.
Emotional intelligence. Yeah, how success is a lifestyle.
Okay.
So it's not just about reaching something, it's about, being consistent. Yeah. And I give this to students at university, self-confidence and public speaking. A lot of universities are asking for these, courses.
Nice. And the last one?
This is actually, yes. Okay. So basically I have this reading gathering. Let's say I gather with employees and we just discuss my book.
Okay.
And see if they have any concerns, if they have anything. And it's like coaching, but it's in a fun and, friendly environment.
Okay.
Just to take them out of that work mood. Yeah.
Okay. So before we wrap this up, where do you see yourself? I mean, is that what you're going to continue doing? Is it something that you're happy with? I mean, this coaching?
Yes. I mean, like, it means so much when you see someone saying, I read your book.
Yeah.
And I started, for example, exercising. For me, this is success.
Yeah.
It motivated you to do something about your life. I read that post or that article you posted on Instagram and I forgave my mother.
Yeah.
For me, this is success. So, of course, seeing all these results, I'm not going to stop, inshallah. I hope so.
But are you going to continue being a writer? Is that what you enjoy more, or do you enjoy being a speaker? What is it?
I write, create, and then I speak about it.
And you apply it. So,
yes.
Okay, that's nice.
Because my mom is also an author. She has 3 books. My father is an author as well.
What does it write about?
My mom also writes about challenges as an Emirati, what she's been through.
Okay.
Inspirational books as well, and self-development books. And my dad is a financial advisor, so his book's about entrepreneurship.
Business.
Yeah.
Nice. Are they in English or Arabic?
They're in Arabic, but I'm translating them, inshallah, into English.
Nice. Hanan, it was really lovely talking to you. I really enjoyed it. I would like to see you soon. I would like to see what's happening with you. It's really beautiful what you're doing.
Thank you.
And we'll love to have you again soon. After you're done with your book, maybe come back.
My pleasure.
We'll talk about it.
Yes, sure.
Thank you, Hanan.
My pleasure. Thank you,
so
Mohammed.
Thank you.